What is up, guys? It's bluesfpl and welcome back to another fantasy Premier League video on my channel. In today's video, I'll be going over my GW29 team and how it did from last game week, my GW30 team, and a possible wildcard. So let's get started. But before we do, as you guys may notice, I do have a new mic. It is the Samsung Q2U. I just like it a lot better. It has an actual arm so I can put it over my desk instead of actually just having a tripod set up. It's dynamic, so that means that it only picks up sound from really close. So background noises are just completely out of the window, which is nice because I do believe the microphone I had before, I do believe it's called the Blue Snowball or something like that. It picked up noise from the outside. And obviously if there's wind or there's somebody in the house making some kind of noise, even some squeaking, it picks that up. So I hope this audio is a lot better for you guys. And yeah, so let's get started. So I got 58 points and the average is 25. In a normal game week, this would be really, really good. However, with all the bot counts and the just casual players that may have missed out on having even close to a full 11, they might have had 3 or 4 players. It drags down the average by a lot. So my overall rank went from, I believe, 36.5, something like that, to 36.6. This is really good, and hopefully can keep this up. And in the next 9 game weeks, we can get that top 10K finish we're all looking for. So if we go into my team, I know it seems like a long time because of the international break, but I just want to go over the best players. Feldman did get an assist. I think it was a very lucky assist. He passed the ball to Trossard, a player I should have probably got instead of Bale. Now, Bale, 0 points, got me absolutely nothing. At least I didn't take a hit, which is nice, but just his... I don't know. This is the thing I was thinking about because his minutes are restricted, and he doesn't defend, right? So he doesn't go back. But then again, Mourinho played Vinicius, so Vinicius also doesn't defend because he's a striker. So can't you just play Bale at striker, like right striker, and then play Kane at left striker if you're going to play that 4-4-2 formation? That just doesn't really make much sense to me, but that's Mourinho for you. Now with the Leeds guys, Rafinha did get a goal, Bamford got a goal and assist. Dallas could have got a goal, actually came really close, and that would have been another Rafinha assist. Leeds, absolutely spectacular. If you didn't have Rafinha or Bamford, or even both of them, I'm sure your rank was a lot lower than you probably should have. Harry Kane, just a solid penalty goal. This is the thing we expect with Kane. You can't really predict players like Rafinha with Bamford, especially Leeds. Leeds are just a strange team. They do really good or really bad. Lingard, just another player you can't predict, but to be honest, he's been on fire. And I actually did have my vice captaincy on him before I switched it off. Thank goodness Kane played and actually paid off, but I know Rafinha would have got more points anyway than Kane. But so yeah, that was my team. I benched the 3 Man City guys, also benched DCL, and for 10 players, 58 points, going up 5 to 6K. I'd say it's really nice. So let's get into my team right now for this game week, and this is how it looks like. So right now, the transfer that I'm thinking about is taking out Veltman, the player I'm going to get, putting him in for Soufal, and I'm not sure about the bench. I'm not sure about Bale or Son. We'll just have to find out more information. If Son is still injured, I'm going to put Gundogan in. If Bale is out, then probably going to put Gundogan. If they're both looking like they're not going to have a good chance to play, I guess I'm going to have to put Stones on or Soufal. We'll see. So the player I'm looking to get is actually Marcos Alonso. Now, Marcos Alonso is a really good pick, in my opinion, for 1 game week. They're playing West Brom. Marcos Alonso didn't go on international break. The other competitors, Emerson and Chile. Chilwell played 2 games for England, I believe. Emerson played a few games for Italy. I'm not sure how many. So these are players that obviously compete in this spot. Emerson, not so much, but Chilwell especially. And I think Thomas Tuchel likes playing Marcos Alonso against the teams that like to sit back because he's more attacking. Also, he has that just set piece threat because he's really tall. So I think Marcos Alonso starts this game. The worst thing that happens is that Marcos Alonso comes off the bench for Chilwell, which rarely happens. I don't think it's happened at all, actually. If he doesn't start, he doesn't come on. So for a lot of teams this week, the fixtures are really good, which is another reason why I shouldn't wildcard. another big change that happened a few days ago, Spurs got double game week, and now they do play Everton and Southampton. So thank goodness, even if I didn't wildcard, I do have Son, Bale, and Kane. But let's look at a possible wildcard team right now. So if I go in live FPL, this is my team. I'm not too sure with it. I do have 2.3 million in the bank, obviously. And there's a lot of upgrades and downgrades. I can do this team, a lot of changing. But the basic core is Mendy at goal. I just think Chelsea are a really good defensive team, especially with Thomas Tuchel right now. This 3 at the back system just keeps the goalie safe. He doesn't make much saves, but guaranteed 6 points. Basically, almost every game week is really nice, even if his fixtures get bad. Cody with Wolves. Wolves have really good fixtures. But the thing we have to stay careful about is that Wolves aren't in form. Even as a 5th defender, really, I think Cody's good. He can come off the bench if he really needs to. But with his fixtures, I think I'm going to be starting him for at least the next 4 to 5 game weeks. Azpilicueta, now this can be downgraded to Rudiger. I think Azpilicueta is basically guaranteed to start every game just because of his leadership and in normal games. And then I just don't know. I might downgrade him to Rudiger if I really need the money, but I think that Azpilicueta is probably more nailed. And I do think that against opponents with like big strikers, they're more demanding, physically demanding, like an Antonio, like Calvert-Lewin, especially with Antonio, with Chelsea playing West Ham coming up. I think that Thomas Tuchel prefers Zuma to play against those guys, and I think this means that Rudiger is going to come out. So I think that Azpilicueta is probably the safer bet, but if you really need the money, I think Rudiger's fine, probably. If you have somebody on your bench that can come on, perfectly fine to have Rudiger. Then Diaz, I think you have to have Diaz. Most nailed city defender. He starts every single game he can. The only one he didn't was because he had a flu. He had a stomach issue. So I think Diaz is basically nailed. Man City defense looks good. And basically guaranteed 6 points if he plays. Neto. Now, Neto is a differential pick right now. Barely anybody has him. But again, with those Wolves fixtures, they're really good. Especially on international break, him and another player I'm going to be talking about, Jota. Jota's on fire, by the way, for Portugal and for Liverpool. Neto played really well on those internationals, and so I think Neto is a good differential to have, and you want to have some differentials on your wild card, obviously, to justify it, right? So the whole point is to get your new team, reset it, get the best players for the best fixtures, plan stuff out, and actually have differentials that other people don't have or are going to have in the future. So just to be ahead of the curve and get those points before everybody else. Son, I think you have to have Son now that Spurs have a double game week. I think that probably a combination of 2 Spurs players and 2 City players is what I would go with. Maybe even 1 City player. I know this sounds pretty crazy just because City have been playing so well, but if you're going to transfer them out, which you're probably going to have a transfer available unless your whole team just gets injured, then you can probably transfer out a City guy just because Spurs have that double. And obviously, both teams blank. So I think Son and Kane are just mainstays. Now, Bruno Fernandes, I could go with Salah here. I like Bruno. Also, with Salah, I think that Jota probably covers him. Even if Jota doesn't start, he's going to come off the bench most likely. And Salah's just been so off form. He's missing a lot of chances. And yes, he's getting way more chances than Bruno. But Bruno does have that penalty threat, which I know Salah's on penalties as well. But Bruno's on Manchester United, and they get so many penalties. And then he has an assist threat as well. Bruno's assist threat is way better than Salah. So I think that Bruno's probably the better pick, to be honest. And if I want to cover Man United, I think Bruno's the only player I'm going to have. Rashford isn't even close, so I think you have to have Bruno. With Jota, like I said, he's on fire. He's really cheap, and he can even cover Salah. Gundogan, yes, this can be KDB, I guess. I'd have to downgrade someone like Vardy, which I'm willing to do, to be honest. But I think Gundogan, for his price, he's still doing really well. He did well for Germany in their internationals. I think he's a great player. And I know a lot of people are saying they're scared to captain a Gundogan. They'd rather captain a KDB. But to be honest, their stats are basically the same. And Gundogan's doing really well. So with this price, I think it's justified. Obviously, all this stuff will change, but yeah. Then I already talked about Kane, just mainstays in your team. Vardy is another differential, him and Iheanacho. So Leicester have really good fixtures, even if we look on here. This has to reset, obviously, because the new schedule's in place. But then they play Crystal Palace, Southampton, Newcastle. After Game Week 35, yes, the fixtures get bad. But up till then, really good fixtures. And I was looking around what to do with the money. And if I'm not going to get Salah or KDB, I think I have to use it on Vardy. And there aren't many really good strikers with great fixtures. So I think that this money is justified. I might be tempted to put it in for KDB and get somebody else like an Antonio. But for now, I have Vardy in. Iheanacho, he's on fire, plays for the same team as Vardy, obviously. And just having those two guys that many people probably won't even have one of them until maybe 2 weeks in time or 3 weeks in time, then I think that these are really good players to have. And if they do score a lot of points, you're going to be ahead of the curve. You're going to have a lot more points than many people. Shaw, now his fixtures aren't great, but to be honest, he's probably been the best left back. I'd say even in the entire world. Obviously, Europe's probably the highest competition in the entire world. But Shaw's been amazing. The assist threat, the goal threat, it's just all there. And I'm willing to play him even against Tottenham if I have to, just because that threat is much better than the clean sheets. Now, if you go for like another United defender, yes, obviously it doesn't really make much sense because their fixtures are kind of good, kind of bad. But with Shaw, his attacking threat right now, there's just no way I can deny him. And then Phillips, I can go with Trent, but I can't afford him, so I'd have to downgrade Vardy and do some changing with prices and stuff. That's just a filler spot right now. Obviously, if he starts, he's a really good 4.0 because Liverpool do have really good fixtures. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm going for Jota. I might even go for Salah and triple up, but I'm looking at that Liverpool defense. I mean, their fixtures look really good right now. So if I go into the Excel sheet, and then these are all the players I'm considering if you want to look at them for the wild card. Obviously, some of them are probably not really good, but this is the list I came up with, and this is my team right now. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you like my new mic and like the sound it makes, please tell me in the comments down below. Otherwise, I may just change back to the other mic, but I think this one sounds a lot better. It's a lot easier to use. Just the sound in the background was really annoying me when I recorded and edited some of the videos. And yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe. If you like the content, leave a like on this video. And if you have any questions about your team, please comment down below. See you guys in the next video.